We're really proud to be working alongside Cool and partners as part of this fantastic programme from Liverpool's Black History Month. BLACKFEST presents a live performance, BLACKFEST BLM Soundscape. We wanted to create a meaningful response to the Black Lives Matter movement through the medium of poetry and spoken word. This piece has been put together by varied creative voices, writers, singers and poets, mostly Liverpool-based, UK nationwide and an international artist. The full compilation is an anti-racist piece, commissioned collections of poems and spoken word, celebration pieces of what it means to be Black and on-Blackness. The final piece has pain, spirituality, hope, and justice with Afrobeats, drums, notes of jazz, and an atmospheric feeling, which is very immersive with powerful messages. This was sound engineered by Breezy Zigoke. Right, Jabida, is there anything you want to add?
Along with this, we've got the Hear Me Now song and track that was created, produced, written by our festival young actors in the 2019 cohort. Digits, Manoka, Blue Boy, Kel Kondok, Claire Biadraz. I'm missing somebody. Manoka Bolokole, have I said that? Yes, I have. Digits, Blue Boy, Leah, Kel, Claire Biadraz. Yes, I've got all of you guys, yes. So it's an amazing piece. It does tackle quite amazing issues within the song itself. For example, it challenges institutional racism, toxic masculinity, and gentrification and racism. It was part of our Hear Me Now productions last year, 2019 at the Everyman Theatres. So we thought we'll bring that with us today because it's got some strong messages we'd like to send across as an organisation as well, that we helped to create a change, a social change within our institutions. So it's a very powerful song. So I hope that everyone enjoys it. Thank you.
Well, we hope you enjoy the show and be part of making a real change.
When asked about blackness, I see my humanity, so obvious, so close that it is my skin. I feel my breath, and I know I'm alive. The other black is what happens to you when you leave the house and learn that you were not always included in all the us's that people said, that your face doesn't fit. That's the black in their eyes, not mine.
Like I look on the screen and see my people betrayed us, thugs, killers, gang members, addicts, drug dealers. Yeah, it's a reflection on some. What about scientists, inventors? Or does that not fit the narrative? Paint us as villainous killers? Like we don't feel compassion? Like we come out the womb wanting to commit stabbings? Like we're just born violent? Like we run around the streets like tyrants, fighting amongst each other, spilling our own blood? Is this the picture you've painted of us, so your police force can justify the forever rising body count of black corpses? You're lucky we're not saying, burn down Babylon forces. If you didn't see us as a threat, you wouldn't come to protest, riding horses. You wouldn't think Stephen Lawrence's own friend murdered him. You didn't see us as a threat. You wouldn't clutch your purse or cross the street when you see us. If you didn't see us as less intelligent, you wouldn't predict grades that we exceed by far. You didn't think of us as criminals. You wouldn't stop us for driving a nice car. Like, we can't be lawyers, doctors, architects. Assume we don't have that intelligence or potential. Treat us like a major threat. Gun us down while we're jogging, we can't even break a sweat or take a breath. Yes, I'm a black man who's angry. Born a stereotype. I'm angry because I'm hurt, because I'm in pain, because I see people that look like my cousins, my mother, my girlfriend, myself, murdered again and again and again. And if we were the monsters you paint us as, we wouldn't want justice. We'd want revenge.
I want you to stand up tall and proud. I want you to speak up clear and loud. Brown baby.
Peace. Big up Weezy with his beautiful beats. Yo, a festival of blackness that lies behind the eyelids and reminds us of the moon and the universe's unknown places and the mysteries of spaces underneath the ground and underneath the oceans and before the dawn of time and earthly days, and the energies of light that reside inside these papules of carbon or are captured in the pupils of the eye, or reside inside the weightiest conglomerate of particles, a darkness worth the worship of a billion saintly lives, that the poet and the scribes or the artist speak of awesome blackly darkness in the cavities of hearts and in our minds to celebrate sympathy that which we know never see, that black is then and now and there and here and them and you and me.
absorbing the shockwaves and becoming richer. Black is the valley from which humanity's deepest truths flow. Black is walking with the ancestors in your step. Black is victory. Black is the Garden of Eden. Black is the Mother Goddess. Black is the fertile soil. Black is beauty. Black is untold fortune. Black is a privilege. Black is Africa. Black is the valley from which humanity's deepest truths flow.
I am black. Black like carbon, the elements of creation, the blue sky, yellow sun, and red earth to make a nation. They want to tar us with our black, but we are painted ebony like the brilliant night sky with blinking crystal stars. Charcoal, ore, ash, and graphite to put my voice to paper. Black gold running slick through my veins. Under the terracotta topography of my skin, I am forever grateful to my maker.
One. Was I muted then? The whole time?
Try again, honey. Just quickly, just try it again.
Damn, okay. Okay, here we go.
It's okay. It's okay. It's the first time it's been done digitally.
Okay. Well, you could feel the passion on the screen, I'm sure. Africa is the motherland. Africa is where God laid his hand for us humans to be born. Africa is where every single one of us is from. Melanin fades if you don't get enough sun. And if you're looking at history, how far back are you willing to go? Because before psychosis, eugenicists and wars, we all had our friends. And deep down, everybody knows we are all one.
Its history has either been erased from time or placed in shackles. Its very wording is associated mostly with negativity. Its people are paraded and portrayed as criminal or lazy, and its champions often seem to forget about the culture from which they came, not speaking out enough and even ignoring all the pain. Then, one day, all of a sudden, nothing was the same. That theorized and prophesized day finally came, the straw that broke the camel's back. A man by the name of our English patron saint was slain. And being black would never, ever be the same again.
Blackness is a socially constructed cage within which I find myself contained, constricted, controlled, and castrated. Blackness is bad, they say, but without it there would be no day. Blackness is the darkness within, I say, where I seek comfort within my cave. Like the tortoise or the turtle, I hurtle to embrace this intimate space. Blackness is the unknown depths of the ocean, where the fish light up in the psychedelic might. Blackness I hear in the silence of the night, softly breathing on my neck, unarmed, unguarded, undressed, listening to the ancestral beat of my tears.
I'm feeling black like the midnight sky, filled with pride. Safe to being lost in blackness, safe to look deep inside. I'm black and angry because that galvanizes me to stand up for what I believe to be treated fairly. I'm feeling black like death, being born into the unknown. I don't fear death, nor do I feel myself, because in the darkness is where my true strength is shown. It's the unknown, that exciting territory waiting for me. Black is being unsure and safe in uncertainty.
Today, Black is viewed as a culture, not a race, always in second place to those with a brighter face. Today, Black isn't who you are, but who you're trying to be. The word is associated with danger and death. My apologies, everybody. I'll just go again. Today, Black isn't a race, it's a culture. Today, it isn't who you are, but who you're trying to be. The word is associated with danger and death. The word Black has been widely misunderstood. Some might even say taken for a mug. In this new era and decade, things will change. Black will make a positive comeback. In the wider eye, Black will be fine. But as history tells us, white is pure and right. But Black is evil and dark, yet to make a positive mark. If Christ is white, then the adversary must be Black. That's how Black is viewed, especially by people like you. If you are sorted into the house of Black, the hood culture isn't your core. Break free from the mindset of being poor. Break free from the mindset of a slave. Continue the movement that our slain leaders paved. The color Black needs you to protect it, not disgrace it, to love it, not hate it. No matter the shades, no matter the blackness.
Hands up, don't move, unless I tell you to. Put your hands behind your back if I mention something that is an experiential fact. You're scared of the cops, or worse, you've been stopped. For no reason other than they don't like the look of you, and anytime they come to you, it's because someone asked them to. Which points to another truth. Other people are a danger. Strangers, disapproval is all it takes. Make no mistake, their judgment is meant to be used to coerce you. Worst, who decides what's wrong and right? Like the doctor who ignores you? Ask them to see you through a tough time. Their response, smart and slime, they'll feed you any line about how they know more. But of course, you leave sicker than before. Or more indoctrination from the media and education. What's that? Representation, slander, or pander to a joke to justify the joke. It's funny, maybe nothing was better. Never love yourself. Always in trouble for somebody else's prejudice. Just tired of being touched, but never being allowed to be angry, else you're that minority. Hands still up? Guess what? You're free to go. And your friend? Oh no.
You can write stories like Anansi or Othello, lead like Garvey or Selassie, entertain and enlighten like Oprah or Angelo, make music like Beyonce or Big Nasty, act like Octavia or Viola, Denzel or Oyelowo, punch like Adams, Joshua or Buatsi, score like Sterling or Aluko, inspire like Obama, Abbott or Sir Leary, fight like Doreen Lawrence or Olaudah Equiano, or race like Hamilton or Linford Christie. Let's be done with the stereotypes of what it means to be black in Western society and teach our children the colour of your skin should not determine who you can or cannot be. Be black, be bold, but most of all, be free.
The pigment in my skin, all that melanin, it breeds a side of me that is held down by society. The darkness I emit is a brightness that they resist. See, black is beautiful, and black is more than this. The aura in the midnight sky would not radiate so bright, and the patterns on a cheetah's skin would not be so bold and contrasting. How could I see a forest in front of me if those seeds were not evolved in a dark place to be? And how would the moon look down and guide me if the sky remained bright and made my eyes blurry? See, darkness can be good and can give me time to rest. I can calm my mind at night and ground myself so I can be my best. They tell me black is not a look, but I can see so much through the universe's book. The planets and the unknown deep sea. They tell me that I can thrive and be me. Because without that darkness, those creatures could not live. And in our eyes, those planets, well, they would not exist. And neither do I, if I can't be loved for the color of my skin. If my history can't be acknowledged and it can't be seen. Darkness can be good. Darkness can be positive. Darkness is the contrast to light, but isn't worse or a negative. It goes hand in hand with the light that exists. They are complementary, and
Without the other, there would be no dynamics. I want that for my skin, for my brothers and sisters, for them and others to know that darkness isn't a faulted conception. It just makes us glow in a different way, but still the same. Equilibrium within the human race.
Does her blackness blind you? As her skin shimmers in the sun, glistening through the leaves where berries can be found. Strands of hair between worlds. Queen of the colony, she stands in space. She floats, charging the universe. Let ink write her story in the night sky. Spray her face on walls. Let her be known that she is beautiful, that black is beautiful.
The beautiful darkness of her skin, rich in melanin, sweet, soft and sweet against her offspring's face. She is mother to me and of the human race. Held with the power of love, enshrined through her prophetic embrace, eternally entwined within those of her blood. And this exquisite aesthetic enshrines the artistry of her knowledge of the past, of history. Our blackness is not always clear to see, so no one has the right to make judgment over me. Her African blood courses through my heart, imparting sacred knowledge and honourable legacies. From the ancient kingdoms of Mali, Ghana, and Benin is where I get my melanin. A rich cultural heritage, innovation and spirituality have equipped all her people and those across the sea. Though hidden in plain sight, woven in rich fabrics and hair that adorn our crowns and form, a powerful truth is revealed. We descend from the highborn soul of her from whom we're born. From the continent's ancient kings and queens, we just stop and look within. Mother Africa, queen of queens, knows the power of the seed held inside, contained within our melanin. She made us so that all will know that black is always beautiful, no matter where we live and grow. Her single most precious gift of all is the grace and power of the melanin within our own skin.
I just realized I was still on mute then.
Not to worry, just try again. Get your composure back. Just try again. This is the digital stuff we're doing. It's something new. Embrace it. Just do it again, Dom. Go for it.
Look up at a night sky. What colour do you see? Black, which makes the stars shine brighter than when the city light pollution obscures the view. In karate, a black belt is the highest one can achieve, so believe the black belt is a symbol of mastery within oneself, mind, body, and being a symbol of wisdom and expertise. Black is the colour we wear when mourning last time I checked, so never forget that black has and still is the colour of respect. The black swallowtail caterpillar goes into chrysalis for 10 to 14 days. In the span of 1 to 2 weeks, the caterpillar is surrounded by blackness, helping it grow and blossom into the butterfly that's appreciated by society. Blackness continues to be the caterpillar's protection and shield, a shield which gives the caterpillar time to grow until the chrysalis slowly starts to split and the wings are revealed. Black is the deepest trenches of the ocean, something wonderful and full of mystery. Black charcoal, being used as face masks, gives the skin an ethereal glow. Too hot for summer, but thick black coats keep you warm in the winter though. Black is flavour and spice mixed with elegance. Like Dave said, black is beautiful. Black is excellence. Bang, bang, bang.
Where are you from? No, but where are you actually from? Why do you care? And please stop touching my hair. What do you see when you look at me? Why are you staring like this? I know some people are just curious and others even want to learn, but please let me insist. The color of my skin is not your concern. People still get surprised when I talk about racial attacks in the 21st century, day-to-day hypocrisy and discrimination, as if it was even possible to erase more than 400 years of oppression. I still hear people saying to my brother, "You are a credit to your race." Oh yeah, you're so articulate. And I get tired of hearing, "I believe the most qualified person should get the job." Indeed, everyone can succeed in society if they work hard enough. Gosh, your name is so hard to pronounce. They whine as we watch a film full of faces that don't look like mine. And I can't wrap my head around the social construction of whiteness. To me, it just doesn't make sense. And if you pay attention, you realize it doesn't happen anywhere else. Look, for example, at the birds. All of them with different colors, tints and shades, eating the same food, breathing the same air. Look at them, they don't care. And these are just a few examples of microaggressions, but I could spend hours talking about lack of diversity, institutional racism and police repression. When I turn on the news and see what's happening, almost as if we didn't belong, almost as if being black was a sin, it just makes me wonder, are humans the only race that can see beyond their skin?
Dark as the night sky, shadow to the morning sun. There's no starshine without atomic space. There's no moonlight without heaven's sky. There's no ugliness in the rays of light, but beauty that can only be shown in the dark night. Black is hidden behind the light, but one cannot exist without the other. Yin yang now. See between the lines and you will find my peace. Black is everything. Black is elegance, excellence, opulence. Black is dark chocolate, brown nuts, Moroccan coffee. Black is beautiful. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. From the dark soil of our motherlands where rays of light beam, all roots are watered and natured. We are in harmony. Different pigments and complexions made up of different shades of skin created one united melanin. with a bond tighter than my bossy kills. We unite, we live, we are human.
Racism has always been a pandemic, tainting our perceptions of beauty's natural image. I straighten, weave, and wig. I color block my baby hair to take your vision of my damaged edges, making them look slick to the heavens, to cover up years of damage that have soothed my ego's intentions for exception. I am forever seeking new products to elevate my curls. Scared of the backlash of humidity and shrinkage, I am empowered by the coils and kinks that are my hair's elasticity. We shall support Black-owned. Miss Jessie's, Aunt Jackie's, Sultanicals, self-made, Madam C.J. Walker, Black absorbing light. Wearing our natural hair is a practice of acceptance, a celebration, changing narratives for the self to influence nations. Perceptive implications are processed and drilled in societal expectations. So let's make a change. I am more than my hair. Black hair producing its own vitamins and oils. My afro is a currency. My braids a signed treaty. Headscarf, solidarity. Big chop, new reality. Regrow, repeat. Don't touch my hair. Afrocentric and proud, influenced by the motherland, my Bantu knots refer you to my Southern African heritage. My yarn-wrapped hair defies gravity. I alert you to my presence as you smell my shea butter melt into the room. We are a physical representation of community and strength. Our hair is interchangeable, political, and powerful. Racism has always been a pandemic.
Dark on the outside and black on the inside. Eternal darkness constantly evolving. Entwined dreams despair from growth of an icon. Overwhelmed by progress and predestination. A desire to be touched with love and care, with a need to be welcomed and protected. But I am no damsel, I get no free rides. I'll stand my ground and be my own shining guide. I'll champion myself with my own fanfare, the black knight of justice and integrity. I know the secret lies of kings and of queens. I stored it all, the truth never leaves. Keep cutting me down to control mouldy dull. The lessons are old, and yet still they won't learn. I am ebony, enduring with luster, desired by the rich, but toxic when crushed.
Black is used, propaganda, politicized and weaponized to condition us to be afraid. Let's move away from this narrative. This narrative, black and darkness is evil, white and light is good, and shift it to purpose like night and day. The way we think is costing human life, black life. I travel back to the black safe walls of my mother's womb, where I was nurtured in darkness all curled. In blackness we grow, transform, there is comfort. As my creator put my soul in the black transition, I am an infinite being. In the blackest of places we are reborn. They say the light is at the end of the tunnel. There's light within black because light reflects light. We forget that black absorbs and delivers you the light. Looking up against the black sky, stars shining so bright. Black holy night, almighty, you come down, our maker, our source of light. Creativity is at its height. Blackness, you shield our nakedness, see and bear our weaknesses. Darker the berry, sweeter the soul, black skin, all that gold melanin. In fashion, black will never be out of fashion, you see. It has the ability to make you feel sexy, slim, slick, outline your curves and bends, always on trend. Mother Earth bears the beautiful fruit from the blackest soil. Stop the noise of capitalist supremacy. Let's remind ourselves, black is ancestor, the race of humanity. Black is beautiful, black is safe, black is protection, black is reflection. Black is fertility, womb, and Mother Earth, the soil. Black is holy, black is growth. Black lives matter, always did and will.
Black is infinite and goes on forever. When we close our eyes at night, it's what we share together. Black is the universe, the darkness between the stars, the space that gives grace for the stars to shine far. Black is being lost without a light to guide us on our way. Black keeps us safe and hidden until we find a brighter day. Our voice and actions are black with passion. Black is aggression to stand up for what is right when our existence are being lessened. Black is not being able to see what's in front of our eyes. It allows us to feel what's in our hearts. Black is humanity from the inside.
¿De dónde eres? No, pero en serio, ¿de dónde? ¿Por qué me miras con tanto recelo? Y por favor, para de tocarme el pelo. ¿Qué ves cuando me miras? ¿Acaso te molesta mi melanina? Sé que algunas personas solo son curiosas, otras incluso quieren ampliar su conocimiento, y no sé cómo hacerles ver que el color de mi piel no es objeto de su entretenimiento. La gente se sorprende cuando habla de ataques raciales en el siglo XXI, de hipocresía y de discriminación, como si fuese posible borrar así como así más de 400 años de opresión. Gente que dice, pues eres guapa para tener una piel tan oscura. Yo les miro pensando que no tienen cura. ¿Hablas un español petén? No sé, será porque yo he nacido aquí también. No soy racista, tengo varios amigos negros. Si empezamos así, mal iremos y no me valen debates, discusiones y peros. Tu apellido es muy difícil de pronunciar. De pequeña me decían, mientras veíamos una peli en la que ninguna cara se parecía a la mía. La persona más cualificada debería quedarse con el puesto. Exacto, si trabajas lo suficiente, tú también puedes tener éxito. Como si todos empezásemos la carrera desde el mismo punto de partida. Como si tú también hubieses sufrido el racismo en tu piel día tras día. A pesar de que sabemos que la raza es una construcción social, aún tenemos que salir a las calles a pedir, déjame respirar. Y por mucho que lo intento, no le veo el sentido. No existe en ninguna otra parte. Da igual lo que te hayan contado o lo que tú te hayas creído. Observa, por ejemplo, los pájaros en la calle. Cada uno con una forma, un color, un distinto detalle. Volando por el mismo cielo, comiendo de la misma tierra, sin caer en distinciones y categorías que no valen la pena. Sin creerse superiores por ser negro, gay o mujer. Igual de ellos también tenemos algo que aprender. Y estos son solo algunos ejemplos de lo que nos ha tocado aguantar. Pero podría pasarme horas hablando de falta de diversidad, racismo institucional y de represión policial. Cuando veo en las noticias la violencia injustificada, como si tener la piel oscura significase no valer nada, como si de verdad ser negro fuese estar a otro nivel, no puedo evitar preguntarme, ¿es el ser humano el único animal que no ve más allá de la piel?
Do you ever question the origin and nature of words? Where do they come from? How do we come to associate them with the images we paint in our heads for them? I wonder. So I dug through some dictionaries looking for black. Some define it as a color that lacks brightness and absorbs light without reflecting it. Other definitions related to populations characterized by dark skin. Is this it? It seems. But then I dug deeper and found even more. Is black even a color? Someone says no. In a technical sense, it's a shade, and so it's white, and nothing can be pure black or white except for the depths of a black hole or the most unfiltered of sunlight. Is it too crazy to think we could apply this in real life? What if we learned to unlearn what we know and apply new meaning and order to this word? Something to think about before you form your next word. More power to you.
Black is power. Black is the ability to be oneself. Black is love. Black is home. Black is not being put on a shelf. Black is anything that you want it to be. Black is harmony. Black is soul. Black is hope. It's what we all need. There's no hate. We don't discriminate against anybody. Black is everything they want to be. Black is the oceans and black is the sea. We come together in our hour of need. We've got people lining up and down the streets to help us reach our goal and tell the story that needs to be told.
Institutions to our problems, we find solutions. It's an evolution, not a revolution. We're trying to pick a way for a better movement. So hear me now, hear me now, hear me now, hear me now, hear me now. Stand up and shout. We don't look about to oppression from the institutions to our problems. We find solutions. It's an evolution, not a revolution. We're trying to pick a way for a better movement. So hear me now, hear me now. Hear me now, hear me now.
I lost my hope, I couldn't cope. Felt like a rope was around my throat, about to be dropped above all my demons. Mind dwelling on lack of achievements. Yeah, I'm stuck in my feelings. I just want a better life, but I feel dead inside. Step outside, I was terrified. Hard to feel like you belong when communities are gentrified. They say real men aren't meant to cry. I had to let go and get on 10 toes and chase my my dreams and take the lead while I dance with my devils. It's with my own pain that I wrestle now. I got goals, so I can't settle down. No, I can't settle down.
Hear me now, stand up and shout. We are on the bow to oppression from the institutions. To our problems, we find solutions. It's an evolution, not a revolution. We're trying to pave the way for a better movement. So hear me now, hear me now, hear me now, hear me now.
I lost my mind, I lost my soul, I lost control on how to grow. Being black wasn't always a good role. Different places, different races, didn't care about those with dark faces. They dismissed dark cases when we claim braces. Physically, I'm not a slave, nah, I'm hoping for some change. Throw away those keys, please set me free. Please set me free.
Hear me now, stand up and shout. We are on the bow to oppression from the institutions. To our problems, we find solutions. It's an evolution, not a revolution. We're trying to pave the way for a better movement. So hear me now, hear me now, hear me now, hear me now. Hear me now, stand up and shout. We are on the bow to oppression from the institutions. To our problems, we find solutions. It's an evolution, not a revolution. We're trying to pave the way for a better movement. So hear me now, hear me now, hear me now, hear me now.
Hey, different type of bars in the cellular. They try and hate on me for not being regular. I am non-secular, which means I will rise again. Ain't never been a sheep, so I don't follow trends. You gotta lead your own path in this world. Take control of everything you have. Go, secure your bag, go, enjoy your life, go, do what you like. Because none of these guys can talk us down now, can make us feel down. Let's stand and feel proud on how we came up, man. We were born with mouths to present. Freedom of speech, so let's represent BLACKFEST and go out and preach, say.
Hear me now, stand up and shout. We are on the bow to oppression from the institutions. To our problems, we find solutions. It's an evolution, not a revolution. We're trying to pave the way for a better movement. So hear me now, hear me now, hear me now, hear me now.
Hear me now, stand up and shout. Hear me now, stand up and shout.
BLACKFEST. BLACKFEST. Oh yeah, shout out my Uncle Boo / my Uncle Jaggy.
Hey.
Thanks for watching.
That was fabulous. What a way to end. What a way
That
to
was
end.
so amazing, guys. Thank you
Wow.
so much.
Well done, everybody.
Well done. I was just going to say, can I get everyone to go BLACKFEST, please? Everyone on your screens. Woo! Woo!
Oh
Loved it.
gosh.
Woo! Honestly, everyone did so well, and thank you for taking up the challenge. It's the first time to just letting your audiences know, like sharing our files with our audio files and stuff like that. So, but I hope that all the audience have enjoyed it. We're just gonna go through a few questions for our artists, just a bit more, just to hear how they kind of wrote the pieces and why they wrote it. Do you want to go into that segment for us, Susan?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sort of really still blown away by the whole thing. I've been crying all the way through. Anyway, let's see. I'm going to start with Stephanie.
Hey, go ahead.
My hair is my crown.
Yes.
How did you come to be taking part in this?
So I found out about BLACKFEST when I used to study in Liverpool. Gibetta was amazing, introduced me to the team, got me involved in some projects, and really just enjoyed the idea of sharing work and creating new projects. And I think especially with the soundscape, I thought it was really important that I spoke about something that means a lot to me, and I think also means a lot to the community at the same time, because hair is something that is more than just something we do in the morning to see how we look. It's political, it's our lives, it's our livelihood at the same time. So I love doing these work.
Oh, thank you. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Who wants to go next?
Actually, you forgot to ask any quotes. Obviously, we're in Black History Month. I don't know if you found a quote, Steph, but if you've got one in the back of your mind.
Yes, I do.
Something that you turn to.
My quote that I turn to is definitely from Maya Angelou. And it is that people don't always remember what you said. They don't always remember what you did for them, but people will always remember how you make them feel. And I feel like that quote, you can take it throughout every situation in life, and it always works out in your favor. If you can make someone feel good, if you know that you're being attentive and you can be a caring person, then that's what matters. It's not always the words that are the big thing in people's memories.
Woo!
Thank you, Stephanie. Breezy, I'm going to go to you next because, wow, what a soundscape. What
Well
amazing, amazing.
Can we just give a big clap to Breezy, please, guys? He's worked so hard on the soundscapes. And let's hear a bit more about how he's put everyone's pieces together.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Fortunately, me being a technophobe couldn't play your accompanying soundscape, but what I do know is that you captured the sense of the poetry. How do you do that?
I think everyone had their own pieces. I just kind of put it together as best as I could. To be honest with you, there was just some sounds that I threw together. I try and match the feelings of everyone's words and put it together in a direction that I think just moved. But I have to give it up to everyone else, really. I think the core of it, everyone was honest. Like Susan, you said, it's the honesty that draws the emotion as well. The quote that we just heard as well is just as powerful. I think even just having the time to all be here as a group, do something collectively, that's the main objective for me. And just be proud of like your blackness, like on all scopes, all scales. Yeah.
I know, but amazing work, amazing work.
Yeah, I mean, you're downplaying what you put, but
I
anyway,
know,
the
he's been
Afro
very
beats,
modest.
the Afro beats, he's being very modest, the Afro beats, the jazz beats and everything like that. It's just been amazing. I just wanted to say any quotes that you turn to, that kind of when you're down or something that you live by maybe.
Patience and persistence is me.
Say that again, sorry.
Patience and persistence. They're yin and yang. You just have to stick with whatever it is you're chasing, but also be patient if it doesn't fall right there for you. Everything that we do, we hope it'll come to fruition at some point, and that's just how I see life. So, yeah, patience and persistence.
Thank you.
And your piece, can you just let us know a little bit more about your piece? Because I loved Black Dub, and obviously you're an Afro-Irish artist. So Black Dub, tell me a little more about this piece that you kind of put together for us, the song piece for the soundscape.
So yeah, I had the song written before, and it was kind of written just to so Dove is Irish for black, and like you said, I'm Afro-Irish, so to kind of just explore the idea of being black and Irish is something that doesn't usually happen. So I just kind of wrote about how I feel as a black person in the context of the land I grew up in, and whatever that is what the song became. And in the context of the whole soundscape, then I think it just became another angle of realizing there's so many facets of being black. There's the celebrities, there's the hair, there's, you know, just the celebratory, there's also the pain, the fear, the anxiousness of having to deal with police. There's just a lot of all of just being black that I think I couldn't say in one word. I still don't think even all of us that have said it can really put it together, but it's the energy, it's the feeling that we just try and collect together and push to kind of let it be known of what black it's not any one thing. It's anything that you make it for yourself.
That's
Thanks,
great.
Breezy.
Thanks, Breezy.
Woo!
Oh.
Thank
Gabby. Hi.
Hiya.
I don't think we've met before, so this is really
No, we spoke on the
great.
phone now, which is nice.
So, how did you get involved in this?
So I met Jabida last year. I was working on my arts organisation called the Asking For exhibition, and I had a stall at BLACKFEST last year, where I got the top from. Whoop whoop. And I sold some pieces of art from me. Oh yeah. And from there we kind of spoke about both similar passions and what Jabida does with BLACKFEST, and then loads of creative, amazing events happened at all different places around Liverpool, and monologues and music, and it was just such a fantastic space in Liverpool that hasn't been done before. Nothing's kind of that hasn't happened. So BLACKFEST was such a great opportunity for BME artists to just get involved, and it's just such an incredible space, and to be a part of it as well is just fantastic.
Oh. Can I ask the next question? I just want to ask more about your inspiration for that piece, because I remember we intimately spoke about it, and it was so deep rooted in your love for your friends and how you felt, black, you say black is beauty, but it was just, for me, it was so touching, because it was like a poem for people that you love in your life.
Yeah, it was. I remember the call that we had, and I think we were talking a lot about how Black people are viewed as like negative, and it's not shown in a positive light. And then we started speaking about kind of space and the light and God and down under, and it was really nice to kind of explore that space aspect. Yeah. And trees and berries, and when you eat a berry, it's like really nice to tap into that. And it was really nice because you saw with other people in here as well, like talking about fruit or the ocean. So it was I really like that inspiration of space and love for people that I have. Definitely love for people I have was definitely rooted within that poem.
Yeah, I definitely heard it. I love that line, that you've got, let ink write her story. It was just, I just loved it. All of your pieces, by the way. But yeah, any quotes you want to share?
I'm going to say Maya Angelou, because she's just fantastic. I know it's already been said before, but I'll say probably I'll Rise is probably such a perfect, amazing piece that I will always reflect back to, because it's just, if you get back knocked down, you just got to get back up again, and fight the demons and just keep on going, because we're all one race and we're all fighting for the same thing, which is equality. So
yep, absolutely. Abby, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
I think I'm going to go to one of our international writers now, and I'm going to talk to Maureen. Hi, Maureen.
Hey, Maureen.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
Yeah, we only met in the rehearsals, didn't we? Right, can you tell everybody where you are at the moment?
Currently in Canada. I just moved to Canada from Nigeria. So
wow. So what's the
really,
time difference?
Hold on, what's the time now? About 3:12.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
5 hours behind.
So what inspired your poem?
For me, the poem was when Jabida spoke to me and told me she wanted me to present something. It was really it was kind of like not the boiling point, but there was a lot that was going on. It was kind of in the middle of everything. It was just one thing after the other. Like you said, it was during the height of the George Floyd, and the protests and the Black Lives Matter and protests that were going on in America. And at that point, I was in Nigeria when I wrote this, and we were dealing with everything that's going on with the pandemic. And I was just thinking, it's like how many people have said in their pieces, why is the way that Black is defined, why does it come with such negative terms? In my piece, it was supposed to be Black being the element of creation, and there was carbon, there's so many natural gifts that we have in this world that come from Black or need that darkness to form and grow. Many things are made in the dark, and I just feel it's a space of birthing. Even Jubeda, you said something about the walls of your mother's womb. It's a space for birthing, I just feel. And it's great that we're finding that way to like connect back to our ancestral roots and to be able to express it in a way that like fits with our modern sensibilities. Like someone said earlier, I can't remember who, about Black being a culture now, and there's good aspects of that, in that like we get to share it, but we haven't been able to define Black ourselves with our own boundaries. And I just like that a lot more Black people all over the diaspora are beginning to create what Black means to us for ourselves. Yeah. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Oh no,
absolutely no. Honestly, just the fact that you've been involved and joined us from Canada, and it was really nice when you also here in Liverpool. And a lot of people don't know you did just study in Liverpool and then you moved to Nigeria. But it's just, for me, it's writing those narratives we don't see, and it's if we don't put Black and safe and Black and those kind of narratives together, and if we don't affirm that and affirm that darkness doesn't have to be used in a negative way, and actually there's so many spaces where darkness has given us comfort, and when we sleep it's recharging us. There's lots of places where Black is actually a very good and positive thing. It's just reaffirming that. And I gave you guys a provocation, but the work has come from you guys. Honestly, it's amazing. So thank you, Maureen. And going to your quote, what do you think?
I don't exactly have a quote, but I would say something that helps me is, I believe that like motivation and things like courage, like it's contagious, right? So having a network and having community, just knowing that you existing can be inspiration to other people. So like no matter how difficult you think something's going on, sometimes you just existing in a space, just showing that you can grow in a space can be inspiring for someone else to look and be like, look, this person is succeeding at doing this, she can do this, he can do this, I can do it as well. So do take courage in that and get infected with positivity and not COVID.
I love that. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you so much. Should we move on to Parry now? Because he says he has to go.
Okay. Hi, Parry.
Hi.
Hi. Wow, two pieces.
Yeah.
Wow, how did that come about?
Because I wrote the first one and I realised it was I sent it to Jubeda and she wanted we were discussing it. We wanted to give a bit more of a light vibe for the connotations that go with Blackness and being Black and Black culture and stuff. So trying to discard them connotations and negativity that already come with that and do something light. And my first poem was quite came from a bit of an angry place, I think, when I wrote it. So then I wrote the second one to try and give a bit more of an inspirational ethos towards black people, black culture, blackness.
Yeah, but given the time, like, that was absolutely valid. That was absolutely valid. Like, you being angry at that specific time. Because I remember when I asked everyone to think positively. It's like, how do we think positively? Like, there will be times where we're steeped into such places that make us, you know, have those emotions. And, you know, given that, it was absolutely valid. And therefore, I included it in because I just thought, for that time, it was valid. So therefore, I understand what we're trying to create, but this is also valid. Like, those stories need to be heard too.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that it was good to have the two aspects of both sorts of moods which I was in when I was writing, which was good to display both sides.
And your quote?
My quote, I've just had to properly Google it so I didn't mess up the phrasing. So
is everybody Googling? Everybody's Googling.
I have read the book. My dad gave me the autobiography of Malcolm X when I was a kid, and I read it, but I did have to Google the quote to not mess it up by paraphrasing. But my quote is, to me, the earth's most explosive and pernicious evil is racism, the inability of God's creatures to live as one, especially in the Western world.
Woo! Yeah.
And I will leave you with that, guys, because I've got to focus. I'm in
Thank you, Parry. Thank you, Parry.
Everyone was amazing. I just want to say thanks for having me, and thanks for everybody who performed. And thank you, Jabida, all the organisers, Susie, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Josh from Melodic, cool.
Melodic, of course, everyone. See
and Breezy with the instrumentals. Woo!
Everybody, thanks a lot.
It's been a team effort, guys.
Full team. See you later, guys.
Bye. Okay, I think we'll go to Blue Boy, because you also did a quite angry piece, didn't you?
Yeah, I was pretty angry, and then I remember I sent it to Jabida, and then she was like, rang me up and says, no, I want it to be, there's already we already know that we don't want to be portrayed as drug dealers and villains and all this stuff. Can you do something talking about something positive or metaphorical or something like that, but in a positive light? So I was like, okay. So that made me do the shorter poem. Yeah. But I won't lie, I felt a bit more energy doing the first poem, because not just because of the whole keeping your eyes on the news thing, but recently, like maybe like a week or so ago, I was at my girlfriend's house and the police called on us. So I was thinking about that as well while I was doing the first one, to kind of like give me that bit extra energy to do it. Except for the first time it was bloody muted, so oops.
No, but did you find was it really hard to get into a positive place? Or was it about really feeling free enough to speak your truth?
To be honest, it was more about like trying to think, right, rather than what I'm feeling, how do I want to feel? And then I thought about it and was like, right, it's easier if I just don't make this like about race on the surface. If I just make it about everything where Black is seen as positive, but not actually mention, like, I was about to say not actually mention race in it then, but at the same time, I kind of do, because then I do say Black is a colour of respect, because tell me one Black boy that would disrespect their mother. I don't know one, unless they're like a horrible person, so well, that's just the truth. Like, even like the not so good boys, like even them, when their mums are calling, they're like, everyone be quiet, my mum's calling me. So always, that's what made me think of that line, Black always has been and will be the colour of respect. But as far as like actually feeling it in that moment when I was writing it, I'm not gonna lie, I had to kind of like not force myself to feel it, but like, you know, when you're writing the exact opposite of how you feel, that's kind of what I was doing for the second one.
I'm just going to ask one other question. How did you feel after you finished it?
After I finished writing it?
Yes, yeah.
It's weird because I wanted to carry on, and then I kept reading it over again, and my girlfriend was like, no, that's fine. I was like, no, I feel like it needs to be longer. I'm not putting in enough positive connotations for black people in here, or just the colour black in general. And then I thought about it, I was like, actually, no, I'd just overdo it if I just carried on writing, because then I'd just force it, and then it sounds... Yeah. Can I swear? It'd sound rubbish, I'm not going to swear.
Yeah, so what have you got for your quote?
So this is actually a quote from my granddad's, and it's, whatever they try to tell you, you don't listen. Whether they're black, white, yellow, purple, whatever, you don't listen. So I was just like, actually, you're right, I shouldn't listen to anyone. He might have been saying that as advice or criticism, though I'm not sure, to be honest.
Oh, thanks, Dom.
I was going to say, Dom, obviously you wrote the lyrics for Hear Me Now. Tell me more. I love it. I mean, you're covering gentrification of communities. You're talking about
toxic masculinity,
men can't cry kind of thing. Why can't they cry?
Please specify.
Yeah, because Digis wrote his own verse.
Okay.
So did Minoko wrote most of his verse.
We're talking to Dom though, Digits, yeah? Let's keep our focus.
The chorus was I won't lie, it's like, I like the chorus. I just don't want to think about me ever like singing it again. Girls could sing it. I won't sing it ever again. I'll just do my verse. I'll be like, yep, I wrote most of it. I did my contribution for the chorus. I do not have a singer's voice.
Oh, you did really well.
Yeah. Okay, Shabida, who should we go to next?
Should we go to another Hear Me Now, Kel? Should we go with you?
Yeah.
She is calling from Spain, so I'm just a bit conscious that if she wants to leave and stuff. She's an hour ahead, so I think, is it about 10?
Me?
Yeah.
No, behind.
We'll go with you next.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Kel. I thought because you're calling from Brussels, we thought we'll go with you. And obviously, if you have to leave as well, because I don't know what time. What time is it there now?
It's just an hour later, so it's 9:30 now.
Okay, cool.
Right. Yeah, well, you did 2 pieces as well, didn't you? How did that come about?
Yeah. So, well, Jabir asked me if I could write a poem, and I was like, oh, I'm not really a writer. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And she insisted, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. And basically, I just remember that one day my dad said something like in like animals, like even if animals are like with different colors, like they don't really care, they don't see a difference, and he was like, what humans do is really stupid. And that's where the whole idea of my poem, that's where it came from, sort of like, thinking how weird it was that humans are the only species that see that difference between like colors. So that's basically it. I don't know if you can hear me, because
we can hear you. You're sounding great, babes. And also the reason obviously we wanted to do it in Spanish was because it's just to further highlight Africa and the colonization of Africa as well, and wanted to make your poem accessible to people who are speaking in Spain, and like how language is in Africa. We've got French, we've got lots of kind of different, and you speak French as well, so but the Spanish came across just as honestly amazing, and it just made it accessible for audiences that do speak that language as well. So yeah,
thanks. And do you have a quote for us?
I don't know. I think I'm just gonna quote Angela Davis and say that in a racist society, it's not enough to be non-racist. We must be anti-racist.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Kel. It's not enough to stay quiet, is it? It's just not. We have to be anti-racist. We have to keep on actions. Woo! Thank you so much. And you'll hear me now.
Thank you, guys.
I mean, we just kind of pulled you into the chorus, didn't we? With the Hear Me Now. How did it go? I mean, how did you find it performing it? I mean, even last year it was the Hear Me Now.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I remember that I wasn't too sure because we didn't have that much time to rehearse it. But yeah, I felt it was really good. It was pretty good. I felt that the energy was there, and it was a great way to end our performance and like the Hear Me Now monologues. That was also like a really good experience as well.
Yeah. It was just so last minute. I do understand, and yeah, we did need more rehearsals, but you guys just brought it, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's just a testament, everybody in this room, how much talent there is in this room, and how you guys just take a challenge and like go with it.
Yeah.
I remember speaking about it with you. He was like, Chabida, I like challenges. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, yeah, okay. So that was great. I remember that. But yeah, thank you so much, Kel. Thank you for being with us from Brussels. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yay.
Should we go to Viv?
Yes.
Hi, Vivi. She's coming back tomorrow.
Hello. I'm supposed to,
Where are you then?
I'm in Italy. So, yeah, also an hour ahead. But excited to be here. It was
We're excited to have you.
Yeah.
It was good. We did great.
How did you find writing for BLM?
So that, as you know, was the first time for me writing a piece, because I usually sing and write lyrics, so it was something different. But I think you can see the thought process being dissected in the little parts. So, you know, you gave me the word and it was more the challenge of, okay, what does this word mean to me and what does it mean to people now? And, you know, looking beyond it, because I always wonder, like, why do the words have the meaning that they have, you know? And obviously it dates back to long before we could, you know, speak languages that we could understand between one another. So it's just interesting, and I hope I got to the point of it. I'm always very conscious of people's reaction, because I don't know if I did good until I see somebody like, yeah.
It was amazing. I love how you dissected it. It was amazing. Is it even a color? And you know, it's like you're just asking these questions, and it just reminded me your piece about this really amazing interview with Muhammad Ali. And it was like, I was always curious about, why does everything black have to be negative? You know, do you remember that really famous Muhammad Ali interview? Does anybody remember?
I'm old enough to
you know,
remember.
I was so curious, and I kept asking my mama, and it's you guys have to research it on Facebook. But it's such a powerful interview, and he's done lots of powerful interviews, Muhammad Ali, but it was one of those, isn't it, asking questions and being curiosity. Even if you weren't born, I'm just saying, you know, there is it is out there in the social in social media and stuff, and you can find it. He is a legend, and it was just he put it in such a digestible way as well.
Yeah,
it was really
I'm sorry,
good.
I've got to interrupt dead quick. If you don't know many Muhammad Ali quotes just because you weren't born, what the hell? He is the greatest boxer of all time. Of all time.
But I'm talking specifically about this interview where he was saying, about like how black is always associated with things that are negative, and he always kept asking questions like, why is that negative? Why is this thing? And it was like, it was really good. Anyway, I would recommend anyone to watch it. So again, Vivi, it was really good. Quotes.
So my favorite quote was told to me by a taxi driver. I do not recall what we were talking about, but it must be something around unity, you know, and how like humans, Cal? Like she said, you know, human beings are the only race that defines themselves as different races. Whereas this, like Einstein said, there's only one race, which is the human race. But that is not the quote. The quote that the taxi driver told me is that you cannot clap with one hand. And I think that, you know, speaks volumes as to how we should act as humans, you know.
Yeah, it takes two to tango. Yeah, absolutely. It's and clapping, same. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love it. Thank you so much. Really.
Thank you for having me.
Honestly, you've been amazing, and I'm sure this is not the end of it as well. Should we move on to Raven?
Hi.
Hi.
How did you? Your piece was so ethereal. How did you get into that space?
I'm all blurred now. I don't know. How did I get into that space? I think it's. I don't really know. I write poetry. I'm just a little bit pingy with the fact that I'm all blurred now. There we go. Hi. So, when I write poetry, I generally like to zone into something rather ethereal, and I just let it flow. So there's so many different emotions and feelings around this subject, and I really struggled to write a piece for it. When Jabigha approached me, I knew that I wanted to be a part of it. Really knew, and I drafted so many pieces, and just trying to find the words was quite difficult. And then eventually, I just landed at that, I suppose, where what we do. All humans are from one place. We're all from Africa originally, and it's just such a disgrace at how warped it has become at this point.
Thank you, Raven.
Do you have a quote for us?
Yeah, loads of quotes. My favourite one is Nina Simone. Do you know what freedom is to me? No fear.
Woo! Yeah, I love that one. Fear is what holds us back.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. It's a shackle. Fear is a huge shackle, and it stops us from being our true selves. It stops us from being as limitless as we have been created to be, limitless, completely. So yeah, I love that one. It's brilliant. Thank you, Raven.
Should we go to Ash?
Go on.
Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
Hey, Ash.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that smile.
Oh, well, you're a writer, so this should have been really easy for you. Was it?
You know, when Jabigha approached me and asked me to do a piece, the thing that struck me was that, well, a number of things. Was it easy? No, writing's never easy, is it? But I thought it's very unpolitical and abstract what I did. And she should have thrown it back at me if she wanted to and said, do something about black people. But she didn't, so fair play. She went with it. I've just been doing a lot of stuff, as Jabigha knows, a show and a book and everything that goes very much into racism and race and racial categorization. And I've obviously do a lot of interviews and talking about the history of how this has come about. And indeed, you talk about Muhammad Ali asking why black is defined in a certain way. There's a whole history to that. And I won't bore people by going into it right now. But I'm having to talk about this stuff a lot. And I thought, well, I'm going to be alongside a lot of people that are going to be doing that and putting every political perspective about blackness, black categorization, black identity, culture, history. So I thought, well, why not? I like to go abstract at times. So this, you know, it was really more about the science and how, for me, the science we're now up to with regards to understanding what makes the universe work and how that links to what we really are, and indeed what the mystics have said for thousands of years. So the spirituality and the science and the mystery and where they meet, and how blackness actually doesn't always have a negative connotation. In the Western world, it has had a negative connotation for long before long before transatlantic slavery, long before colonization, long before we travelled to Africa, long before black people came to these parts, even with the Romans 2,000 years ago. So, but it doesn't always have there are positive, as a lot of people have touched on. We've touched on things to do with the room and the mysteries and the unknown and the was it Blue was talking about the chrysalis. And so anyway, I just thought, you know, I'd do something different.
No, it was fab, absolutely fab.
Thank you. Everyone was fab.
So, what's your quote?
You know, just because I'm sat here, this isn't the one I gave you earlier, but I'm just sat here in the office. When I left university about 8-9 years ago and started writing in earnest on the particular piece of work, I stuck this thing up on my wall here. I thought, I need some inspiration. Who do I want to kind of emulate? Who do I want looking over me while I write this? And it's got John Updike and Tupac Shakur. John Updike's there to go, just do what you like, just do what you like, just do what you like. And it's got Tupac to go, just do it, just do it, just do it. Just get on with it, just get on with it. Get in the studio, spit, just get in there, spit it, do another one, do another one. And then at the bottom it's got Alice Walker. And just to give me that spiritual, beautiful, poetic essence. And a quote from Alice saying the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good one. But please share the one you shared with me on the Gmail.
What did I share with you?
the quote.
Oh, that was the one from my dad.
Yeah, the one from your dad is also important.
Yeah. It's not my dad's quote, but it's what he's. My dad said all my life growing up. My dad came over from Jamaica to Britain and married a beautiful woman from Scotland, and they had a lot of racism in the 60s. And he never really addressed race at all with us. He just said, you know, I believe in triumph over adversity.
Oh, I love that. Triumph over adversity. No matter what life throws up in front of you, still triumph above.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Just rise above it, keep going.
Rise above it, yeah, absolutely.
We couldn't deal with it in the same way he dealt with it, because we were, when you're born somewhere and then you're treated like you don't fit in or like you're different or like you don't belong, it gives you a different feeling, I think, a lot of the time, to people who have moved from another country. And indeed in the 60s in Jamaica, this was, you know, around about the time that colonization ended in Jamaica, and they, you know, Jamaica became its own place about 62, 63. But they still kind of saw themselves as part of the British Empire. They saw Britain as the motherland, and they felt lucky to be here, even though they were getting all that stick. Whereas we don't feel lucky to be somewhere that we're born. You know, so we couldn't quite deal with it in the same way as our dad did. We dealt with it. Well, we became self-fulfilling prophecies, and then we became angry, and then we became educated, and then we rose above it, and we indeed are doing our best, folks, to triumph over adversity.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Ashley.
Thank you, Ash.
Thank you. Who should we go to? Should we go to Tia? Nice.
Hello.
Hi, Tia.
Why do we have these twee voices when we say hi? Oh, wow. So, how did you find writing a poem?
I don't really write poems usually. I write a lot of songs and a lot of music. So when Jubida asked me to write something for this, I kind of just thought of things that I'd want to say to people, you know, the people who are struggling with, you know, racism and feeling like they don't matter, and they do matter. So I thought of everything that I'd want to say to my friends and family members and just put it together.
Can I just add also, Tia actually had her own instrumental, and she really worked so hard on that. And I love all of what you created, Tia. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
It's the simplicity of it as well, just in the words, and it's just to the point. It's amazing. What about your quotes? Obviously, I don't want to, I keep saying this, don't I, like you're the youngest person here, but I do seem to do that quite a lot.
Last time you said that I had to go first before my bedtime, I was
So
embarrassed.
I remember that day. But yeah, I mean, I know you're a bit more about, you know, your likes and passions and music. You like musical theatre. You've seen Hamilton. Give us a nice quote, like what would you like at this present time. I'm sure they change as well.
Yeah, my favorite quote has to be off a musical because I'm obsessed with musicals.
Yeah.
And it's off Rent, and it's Take
Rent,
Me or Leave Me. Because it's like I kind of resonate with it with being in high school and being dual heritage, and having to deal with like not fitting in with one group of people and not fitting in with another. So I kind of have the attitude of like, if you like me, like me. If you don't, you don't. I'm not gonna force myself onto people and, you know, hope everybody loves me, because I know not everyone's gonna like me. So
Yeah. That's actually playing in my head now. I love that as well. I know which one the song is. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. Not everyone's going to like you. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But, you know, I think that everybody in this room and everybody's got something to offer to the world. So it's an amazing quote. Hate me or leave me. Brilliant. Who should we go next? Susan?
Chloe?
Hello.
Hi. Oh, excuse me. Oh gosh. So, how did you start about thinking about your poem?
So when I was speaking on the phone with Jabida, we were kind of discussing like the beauty of blackness and dark and the contrast to it. So when I kind of then sat down to kind of write the words, I was kind of looking to nature. I kind of wanted to, as everyone else was discussing and when they were writing their pieces, kind of there was this feeling of anger with what was going on at the moment, and it was really hard to not express that. And I think I was able to do it in a way that was still kind of communicating a few of the issues, societal issues that we experience as Black people and minorities, but also still being able to get that message across that Black and darkness are great things. And if you don't see that, then you need to change your perspective on life and your reality, because the truth is that we are great. And yeah, that was basically it.
Something fell behind me. Sorry about that, everyone. I think it was the Vogue thing I printed off. I touch on fashion, you see, so I kind of did a whole little thing at the back. But yeah, that was my one.
Yeah.
But
so,
yeah, go on, Susan. Who's next?
She hasn't we haven't had a quote yet.
Oh yeah, go on, quote. Come on, Claire.
Mine is, everything behind you is why you are here. It's just a little reminder.
Yeah, it's a bit like that Sankofa one, Susan, that we talk about a lot.
Yes.
About the past informs the future kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you've got to know your roots. Is that what you're going for? Say it again for us, Claire.
Everything behind you is why you are here.
It's the same sense. Definitely the
same sense, isn't it? Like
the past is, without the past, we will not be who we are.
Yeah, it needs to be acknowledged.
Yeah, needs to be acknowledged. Absolutely.
Okay. Who have we got less?
We've got
Daisy. Is he doing? Yes. Oh yes, he's a really touching.
He's with us. He's with us.
It was a really touching, really sensitive, and emotional piece. Yours.
Yeah.
Lovely. I mean, I was crying all the way through. I was just trying to very surreptitiously dab my eyes all the way through the performances. They were just all so moving. The energy was absolutely amazing. I didn't expect to feel that way, but my eyes were watering all the way through. But yours was just very touching. So how did it come about? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have to sing again.
Yeah. Did that happen in the performance as well, by the way?
No, no,
Okay,
no,
cool.
no,
Oh, yeah,
no.
I was getting scared. I think my sound wasn't on though. I was gutted. I was like, no, but it is what it is. But yeah, on
You would have been in good
People can hear
company.
it online
Yeah.
as well. I mean, it
Yeah.
was just such a good piece. It didn't take
Yeah,
anything away from your performance. So don't worry. Honestly, it was amazing.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So how it came about? So Javida hit me up and was like, "I want you to make because I had a quite passionate one as well. So I've got a spoken word about blackness, but in like a darker sense." And then Javida hit me up and was like, "Do you have anything positive?" And I was like, "To be fair, I haven't actually wrote. Like to be fair, I've looked at myself and I haven't actually wrote anything positive. So I was thinking, I feel like this would be a nice change in pace and the sport." And I'm quite imaginative anyway. So like the way I thought of my piece is like I kind of thought of it as in like I just used my imagination and like created while still using my feelings and kept my feelings while creating like a story in a way. But also bringing it back down to the roots as well. So like I believe like we all like so on like kind of like Raven stated before, like we all came from Africa. So I believe that's where we all came from. So that's why I brought it back over there and was like we are all human at the end, and I ended it with a unity. So that's I'd say that's like my little yeah.
I love how you said about the coffee and all those kind of describe those bits to me. What was all that inspiration behind that? I was hoping you might have some coffee beans next to you, and with my product placement behind, I thought maybe you might be some coffee beans somewhere.
Moroccan coffee beans.
Some Moroccan coffee.
I guess wait there. Wait, give me 1 second.
I can't remember what was the exact lines. Like you mentioned a few more things as well.
So within that line, I was like, "Black is beautiful." Dark chocolate, brown nuts, and Moroccan coffee.
Yeah.
I use all of them to describe, like I use them to describe black as well because they're just as beautiful. Like, you have brown nuts and you have Moroccan coffee and you taste them and you're like, this is the life. You get me? Like that's beautiful. So
and it's healthy and it's a superfood.
And they're all
dark chocolate is a superfood.
They're not bad for you. You get me? Like dark chocolate's. Chocolate's not amazing, but like dark chocolate's the best out of all the chocolate.
Dark chocolate is a superfood, actually. If you have the 90% cocoa.
Exactly. You're completely right. Exactly. So that's why I just use them as my spoken word up poem.
And
I love that line you said. To you, black is everything. That line just got me here. I just like, that is gorgeous. It was so beautiful, and the way you said it. Yeah. Like you don't realize, it's like you're saying to the world, you don't realize, but being black is everything to me.
Yeah.
And the amount of times you say X, Y, Z to me and all that, being what I am and in the skin that I carry, it's everything to me. It's me, Yeah. It's just so much levels that one line had, but it was so simple. It was beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And do you have a quote for us?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I'm not like I don't have anyone amazingly special. Like I feel like Kendrick. I listen to a lot of Kendrick Lamar. So I use one of his quotes that he states, and it's when you give up, it means you never wanted it. So I use that as an example as in life. So if you give up on what you was focused on in the first place, that means you never wanted to do it in the first place. So that's my quote of the day. Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.
Cool.
Gabby, have we been to Gabby?
Yeah, we've been to Gabby.
Been to Gabby.
Manoka.
Manoka.
Let's get Manoka into the conversation.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Manoka.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And how's it been for you?
So far this whole Blackfest experience has been good so far. Obviously, last year we had the festival, which was a huge success. I was able to play a character that most Black actors don't get to play, which is Prime Minister, which was fun.
And you fit into it really well, Manoka.
Yeah, it was very good. I got a lot of people saying to me that they're gonna vote for me for the next election, but
You're on your way. Yeah. Your poem, how did that come about? I mean, what were you feeling and thinking when you wrote it?
obviously during the summer of this year, there was a lot of issues going on regarding the Black community and Black people as a whole. I found myself in the summer researching the history of Black people in like the UK, US, Africa, and all these other places, and I've just and I've kind of tried to link some of those things together, both the past and the present, regarding like how, for example, religion may be used as a symbol of racism due to the fact that they draw Jesus as white, and in the Bible it says Jesus obviously wasn't white. Well, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Really, it's quite mad to me. I like to stand back and look at the bigger picture in a way.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Cool. And
I love that about you, that you're so you've got such high aspirations, and it's great to see, that as well. And obviously you did the spoken word last year, and kind of lots of things that you portrayed in that. I think there were strong messages to give to the youth as well. So yeah, you're a great role model, Manoka.
Thank you. I try my best.
And one of your favorite quotes, go on.
My favorite quote. This is a quote written by Manoka Balokele. The quote is, the quote is, in this game known as life, it's through our mindset and the behavior that determines what type of player that we will become.
Yes.
Yeah. Good one. Very insightful as well.
Thank you.
Should we move on to Leah? She's been waiting patiently. Hi, Leah, and where are you calling us from?
I'm joining you from Leeds, but I just wanted to say how amazing everyone was. Like, I'm tearing up just even listening to everybody speak about their poems and everything. It was just really beautiful. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us with the Hear Me Now Fest. Obviously, Leah was part of our festival cohort last year. She also does stuff for Freedom Studio. She's like a youth engagement officer, is it? Or
facilitator? Yeah, facilitator.
But she's brilliant. And please tell us a bit more about Hear Me Now. Although I keep talking about how I added a lot.
The Hear Me Now experience was just beautiful. Like, it was really great being part of the monologues, and it was really empowering, just being able to do different acts, acting different parts that we wouldn't normally act. And we wanted to reflect that in the song, so coming up with the chorus and stuff was just it was reflected in that basically. So it was.
And obviously you and Dom first started the chorus. How did that come about? I mean, I feel like it embodied what we're trying to do, especially with the institutions and things like that. And Black Lives Matter is just more than just, it's about the institutional stuff and attitudes that need to change. And I think that was, for me, very special.
Yeah, exactly. It was just about empowering, just reflecting the whole what BLACKFEST was about, and just hearing our voices and being able to express ourselves through the song, really. So it was all about that. So
And tell us more about your quote. What would you like to add?
Okay, so my quote is a lyric from Bob Marley, and it's, "Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing's gonna be all right." And that just gives me hope, like, like throughout these uncertain times, just gives me a lot of hope.
Don't worry about a thing. Because every little thing is gonna be alright.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. It's all in my head now. It's like, ooh, I'm listening to Bob Marley right now, and it's like, ooh, really felt that, and it's true. And we can get so bogged down with little things that we don't look at the bigger picture sometimes. And he's like saying, just don't worry about it. Just get onto the next thing. Just keep getting onto the next thing. Don't. Everything's just gonna plan out how it's meant to already plan out. So don't overthink it. And I think that's what's so amazing about that quote. Thank you so much, Leah. That is so amazing.
Thank you.
That's all right. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's it, isn't it?
No,
Should we move on to you? Oh,
Digits.
our beautiful Digits. Digits. You know, yesterday during the rehearsals, like he wanted to make it so adventurous because you skateboarded, didn't you, Digits?
Do you want to take your mute off?
Yeah.
Go on, Fred. So how
you
did
can-
Hear Me Now happen? And honestly, he's inputted so much. Let's talk about this. You shot the video, you recorded the video,
Edited,
you
all
found the
of
backing
that.
track. There's a lot of
Wow.
input from you. He's such a talented young.
Excuse me, what? He found the backing track?
Yeah. I found about the backing track.
No, you did
Sorry,
not.
was it you, Blue?
Yeah, it was me.
Okay, Don't found the backing track. Okay, but you know, Digits. I remember he even uploaded all your lyrics and stuff on the YouTube. I mean, he's done so much for that song. I was just gonna say, how did your verse come about, and what is it about? Moving on from Bob Marley, it's quite kind of those kind of vibes. Go on, explain.
Yeah. I looked at the lyrics that Dom and Manoka had already contributed to the song. So, I could just take a motivational route to it. So that's why in my verse you see stuff like us. None of these guys can talk us down.
Yeah.
And also the little BLACKFEST big up, you know. We were born in the mouths to present freedom of speech. Let's represent BLACKFEST and go out and preach. Hey.
Yeah.
But I love how you said, go enjoy your life, go. And it was really like, just that level of, we talk about freedom. And it's like, you know, I felt like it embodied that. Like, don't let anyone hold you down.
No one.
Go enjoy yourself.
No one.
Go feel free. And it's like, it's this kind of attitude to end the song.
Yeah,
we
man.
talked about racism. We talked about institutional racism. And right at the end, in comes, you know, Digits. And he's like, that's it, man. Don't let anyone talk you down. And I just
comes
love
and
that.
blesses the song, innit?
You were almost. It's so spiritual. Absolutely loved your input on that. Honestly, I was like, every time I listen to it, I'm like, yeah, actually, I just want to do what I want to do and just chill out. And
Yeah, man.
makes me want to draw a bath and like just enjoy
Sit down,
myself, put some music on. It's just really great.
Sweet, yeah.
What else would you like to add?
Before you guys ask me-
you played a young person, didn't you, on the Hear Me Now monologues?
Yeah.
And I felt your portrayal was so good. I mean, do you remember any of it?
I remember a lot, but we're not going to go into that. Before I get into my quote, I just want to say, I don't ever look for inspiration through quotes. I just get up and do it, you know, or just listen back to things I've already created or watched. And that just leads me to get whatever may be getting done. And if I was to pick one, is one on my wall as well. Is every man is the architect of his own fortune.
Wow.
I don't know who made it, but I just saw it somewhere and I took it.
Wow. Every man is an architect of his own design.
Exactly, man.
Beautiful.
Trust.
That is gorgeous. Oh my God. I'm going to have to steal it too. It's a really good quote. I love how you get a descriptive image as soon as you hear it. Like, you're designing your own building, your house, your life, your family,
Exactly.
everything
No
about
one's
it.
no one's gonna do it for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Beautiful.
But yeah, anyways, thank you for having me. It's a
No,
pleasure.
thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us and doing the Hear Me Now song. I keep getting you guys to do this song because I feel like it's become almost like a BLACKFEST anthem for me. And I feel like every event should have it. It's just it's become a BLACKFEST anthem. And guys, the Black Lives Matter Soundscape, the Hear Me Now song is also available on SoundCloud. It's on our website, YouTube.
Everywhere.
The video is actually recorded and everything by Digits, and also edited by him. and it's all available on our YouTube as well. So please subscribe to our YouTube. Any fleeting thoughts, guys, just before we end our session? And let's go to Susan. Can I interview you now? Should we all interview Susan?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think we should all interview Susan.
Oh,
Who wants to ask a question to Susan?
So, Susan, what made you want to get involved with BLACKFEST as an executive director? Please elaborate.
Well, I came across BLACKFEST last year, and I'd gone to Granby Market with my mum. I'd taken her out for the afternoon, and there was Jabida, and my thing is African textiles. An art historian, and I specialise in West African textiles. I do other things as well, but that's my passion. And we exchanged cards, and then she got me to do a session for the Empowering Women project. And the group of women were just amazing. And I thought, you know what, why am I facilitating when actually I can be part of this, you know? So I got involved. I then decided to take myself to the Hear Me Now workshop at the Everyman, and that was amazing. I think you were there, Dom.
Leah was there as well. That was the Hear Me Now workshop.
Yeah. And I really had no idea what to expect, but it was really good. It was really good. And a couple of weeks later, Rita says, "Oh, there's this part in the play. I think you'll be really good. The person that we wanted can't do it, but I think you can do it." And I was thinking, why are you asking me? I haven't acted since. No, I'm in my mid to late 50s, and she's asking me to act. And I was, you know, I'd had a pretty bad 2019, and I sort of was in the frame of mind where I had decided to just say yes to things that I would normally say no to. So I said, well, I thought, no, well, this is a bit of a big one, so I'm not going to say yes straight away. So I said, send me the script. You know? And I realised it was one of Tayo's plays, and Tayo Luku's plays, and his stuff was just fantastic. And the part she wanted just really resonated with me, so I said yes. So I ended up as
Princess Fatima.
Princess Fatima, and it sort of really gave me something that really was empowering. And I was there with Kel and oh gosh, who was the other actor?
Kel was Esther.
Yeah, and the other character,
Dwayne
was Edward.
Dwayne, yeah.
I remember it like it was yesterday. It was so good.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I still like it.
But, you know, it was, you know, all the rehearsals, I was just so worried about it. But on the night, you know, it was like going back and linking with the ancestors. And I had to draw on my knowledge of family and the characters within my... It was like being an old pro, really, wasn't it? You know, but it put me in a place that was just so empowering and exciting. And you know, I knew that I was moving back into the arts, but I had no idea that I would be on stage at the Unity. It was fabulous, and that's sort of what got me hooked on performing arts. It's almost like I've been doing things privately as hobbies in inverted commas, but getting involved with BLACKFEST just put it in a different context.
And you are an art historian, though. I think that a lot of us.
I think you know, I knew I was a frustrated artist. I knew,
yeah.
You know,
you are an artist. I just think there's so many people, like, you know, within the Black community especially. I feel like you're so talented, and I think we need to own it. And I feel like you needed to own yourself, own your talent.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. And that's why this project is here. I'm not looking for perfection. These things kind of happen slowly.
I mean,
and grow together.
yes, and that's it. I've grown. I mean, the poem Black is Always Beautiful. When we first spoke about it, I was in the heart of lockdown and all sorts of things were happening, and I actually started to write it on the way back from a funeral. The father of my children passed away, and the words came to me, and it was just so, on the train back, these words came to me, and I just sat down, and this, I think I had my children in mind, you know, and it was a way of channeling the emotion and the support through the grief, you know, and it literally wrote itself, and it encompasses the things I believe in, and as a historian that I have an understanding of my cultural heritage and the, you know, things like sacred knowledge, understanding the meaning of symbols and things like death and cross symbols, and in the play, the mask, the value of things which other people might not necessarily recognize, the embroidery in fabric, the symbols in fabric, they're all special, they're all wonderful, and they're all part of a really amazing heritage which other people envy.
Yeah, and I remember you bringing that mask in like it was the other day in the office, and we was looking at this mask. It was so heavy and it was so gorgeous.
Yeah,
telling us about the history, about Benin, and you also related it to Congo at the time. I remember.
Well, yes. I mean, the mask actually came from Ghana.
I remember handing it to one of my colleagues. I was like, "Look, this is like could be part of your like kind of from your thing." It was such a powerful moment for me, anyway. It was beautiful.
Yeah. The traditions, certainly during colonial times, a lot of people were banished and sent to East Africa, but you will find similar carvings in Congo and shape and the actual representation. But we assume that people didn't travel and didn't trade, and of course they did. And people didn't walk to work wherever that took them. You know, you moved a lot. People moved. So to see the same representations is not so strange.
Yeah, and I love that. I remember that time as well. That play, it was talking all about the ancestral plane and all of that. And I mean, within your poem, that was also relevant, and it was just really nice to have that angle. Like we've come from so many different angles, and I felt like that needed to be in there as well. Okay, Digits. I'm sure everybody's subscribed to your channel.
Yeah. Oh, no,
but yeah, your favorite quote then, Susan. Please take us to your quote. And you know, obviously, if nobody took a chance on anyone, nothing would ever happen. And I suppose that it's down to Black, Indigenous, people of color, however you want to say us and how we are. We should always take a chance on each other. We should always spread equity as much as we can amongst our groups, because no one else. I mean, really, honestly, we just have to keep on rising together. So, Susan, go on.
I think it's sort of what I sort of live by. When you open one door, bring as many people through that you can.
Absolutely, love that one. I can't remember who said that one. Tell me.
I mean, it's something that
I said it.
You say everything, Did.
It's something that was always not said, but it was something that I observed that my family do. Those of us, you know, if you have privilege in any sense, use it for the better. Use it, share it. You know, let people come. You know, let people benefit from it.
Yep, absolutely. There is an actual quote though of dragging. You know, there is an actual quote. I've heard
Oh, I'm
that
sure
one.
there is. I'm sure
There
there
is.
is. Yeah.
I can't remember what it, I think it was I think it's Maya Angelou. I don't know. I don't know who it was. It's
was
gonna book me now. I'm gonna look at it tonight.
But yeah, so that's me.
Anyone else want to ask Susan anything, guys?
I
This
want
is
to
your chance to give
I
her.
want to ask one question.
Go on, Chijit.
The painting or drawing or whatever it is
Oh,
behind
gosh.
you, what was your choice behind that?
Actually, it's one of mine. Just before lockdown, I decided that I needed to get back to being creative, and I invested in some acrylic pens.
Oh,
and
so you made it yourself?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's thank you. And I found it really useful to draw to reduce anxiety. So I would sit and be creative. The thing I want to do is textile design, but I needed to sort of just immerse myself in the actual getting back to basics and just drawing and designing and creating. And this was one of them that I quite liked.
That's great. Oh. I'm blushing, sorry.
I just want to say, this is about empowering each of them. You know, thank you so much for everyone to being a part of this project. And please, we're going to be closing the night now.
Yeah.
Does anybody else want to add anything, guys?
Did you talk about your poem already?
Do you want to talk about my one? Do we have to?
Yes. Can we ask you about it? How was the writing process for you with that poem?
Oh my gosh, I mean, at that time, because obviously I did a provocation about, think about dark spaces, think about blackness, think about places where actually it's beautiful. For me, it was a spiritual response, because for me, spiritually, night and day, everything is here for a purpose. And for me, it's about how we use the elements and how we, you know, we can turn, like, for example, a stone. We could throw it at someone and hurt someone, but with that same stone, we can build a house. You know, I think that for me, black and white, it's how we look at it, it's our perception, and those perceptions needs to be changed. And I think I wanted to see more writing where I saw the words black and safe together, and it was like affirming those truths mentally, physically within ourselves. If we're not going to write them, no one's going to write them. How often do you see black and safe together? When you see that word in itself, black it is kind of always seen in a negative way. But my piece, it was hard to write, because the more I thought about dark spaces, I kept finding new ones. Like Ash was saying about spirituality, about dark matter, about, you know, the womb, about loads of areas that's, you know, the soil. There's just so many places. And, you know, with Daisy's piece, with the, you know, cocoa and all of these places, there's a lot of places that are dark. And darkness, we always see that as the negative thing. But everybody who's gone through dark times, I've seen us come at the other end with just so positive and light. And I feel like, you know, even like scientifically, as we're talking about, we touched on science as well and being abstract, you know, genuinely, like black actually, you know, absorbs the light. So it's like, you know, there's light in there. It's just, you just got to find it. And it's how you perceive things in life. And for me, it was just about that. It was very spiritual for me. Like for me, there's some lines that go back to my faith, for example. Like we believe that God in the middle of the night, he'll come down to the seven heavens and hear humanity and what they're doing. And it's our time for prayer as well. So some of us, you know, there's lots of creatives in the room. You know, as soon as that higher power comes down, you feel it. You know what I mean? You feel it, and you're writing, and you know, musicians. I've seen so many, you know, numerous accounts of musicians and poets saying, in the middle of the night, it's such an intimate space. I think that's what I wanted to get across, about the intimacy of the darkness and the night and the comfort of it.
Beautifully. I think you really encapsulated all of that so well. And when you were saying before about the storm, I got like this visual of, you know, like the way a tornado is, and like you've started that with that intention to reaffirm the positivity and the beauty. And then rather than just you sharing your poem, you've involved all of these other incredible artists. and created like this whirlwind.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Raven.
Out, and it's
I
really
want to change it linguistically, man. I just want to see more black safe, black protection, you know, like everything with that word itself. I just, you know, the more we see those positives, the things will change. It's about affirmations. And I don't know if a lot of you do affirm. I mean, it's in our culture now to wake up in the day and give ourselves positive affirmations. The more we see that word with good connotations, the more good you'll see.
Yeah.
And I think that will transpire into society, and it will make change. And that's the way I looked at the piece. But it does have a lot of, you know, spirituality in it. It does. I mean, for me, black is holy. You know, like, you know, when you Minoko was talking about Jesus Christ, for example.
Holy Night.
Holy Night. I mean, I remember as a child growing up singing those songs, you know, about the Holy Night and stuff like that. You know, how holy the night is. It's such a sacred space. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that came out about it. I did make a little thing at the back. So I've put like a lot of people don't remember, but I am a mother. I am doing this project, and this is my daughter's scan picture. Where am I? Here. And then I've got like, I tried to do some product placement. I don't know if you can see it. But then I kind of got like a prayer bead over it and some kind of nice, I had a Vogue picture as well with the fashion segment. I just everywhere, like even like with Dom's piece about the karate belt and all that, you can go on, you can just go on. The more you look, and it's about your intention, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's and about perspective, like you say, isn't it? Like everything is always present and contained within this planet duality.
Yeah.
And we have the power of choosing our own perspective with what we look at. And you've really offered a beautiful safe space today for us to explore and look for the beauty.
Yeah.
We're constantly told that it might not be.
I think really, Jabida, you're an exceptional
Oh my God,
director.
I can't believe this outpour is coming out. Thank you so much, guys.
No, I mean, to have the vision, you know, not everyone has that vision or can see the potential in something which seems, let's get some artists to write some verse. It is how it started, but with Breezy's input, with the soundscape as a sort of two-dimensional product, it's now become a performance. It's now become, it has the potential to become all sorts of things.
Yeah, I wanted to create lots of opportunities. Yeah, I wanted to create lots of opportunities, Susan. I don't even think that soundscapes traditionally are even performed. Like there's been a City of Light last year. Like a lot of, once a soundscape's made, it's kind of left. And for me, it's like, we want to carry on this legacy. I feel like we can perform. I feel like we can make it into a theatre piece. Honestly, everyone's pieces is so powerful. And I feel like we can all interact in this really beautiful world that we've created, where black and safe is possible, and that is so beautiful to me because, we hear all these things in the media and propaganda, and that's why I wanted to include that we have to stay away from fake news as much as we can, and really educate ourselves, and read the right things always, and even like you were saying, Raven, you struggled with it. You struggled with it, but I said, do you know what? Write it, Raven, and it wrote itself. It wrote itself, and it was so beautiful. And the way you ended it, one, and that's what we want to leave. That's the last thought we had with your poem. We're all one, and it was beautiful, like everyone's pieces. And I love the fact that Alicia's not here, but I love Alicia's piece of the simplicity of what she's saying.
It's direct, simple. It's thought-provoking.
Thought-provoking. You could be at any age, and you will understand what she is saying. And she first and foremost says about humanity. We've seen how the black community have been dehumanized throughout centuries. And this one line that she opens the whole soundscape with is, when I look at my skin, I think about humanity. And it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's bringing it back to humanizing this beautiful community that, is treated in a certain way.
Isn't it? That's the one. And so if anyone wants to listen to it, they can find it on the website, isn't it? The recorded version of the soundscape.
But we also have to thank those people that weren't able to perform tonight. So we have Alicia, of course, yay. Nathan Gearing, Gavin.
Gavin.
I can't read this. It's too
Hey,
far
Rock
away.
Ferry Soldier #2, Gavin.
Look, Gavin, if he's watching.
And
Nathan.
Gavin Davis, Nathan Gearing, Imrana Afzal,
Mohammed.
Mohammed Sweston.
He's actually called Moral, not Mohammed, but
Moral.
Well, he calls himself Mo, but
Mo.
He's not called Mohammed, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Everybody who is called Mo is not Mohammed. Just called Mo.
Okay, Lisa Beach. Is that everybody? Yeah, I think it is.
I think so.
No.
Like I said, I could have, I think I asked Digits and he said no, he didn't want to write something. Why did he do that, Digits?
He must have been busy.
No, he's been doing so much. I'm joking. He's coming into the conversation, so I thought ask.
But it's been a great day.
Thank you so much, guys. Honestly, is Steph still here? She's still here. Can I give my quote, please?
Yeah, man.
Because it's Black History Month, I want to give a really strong because for me, a lot of my responses is spiritually, like I'm driven by spirituality. I believe we're spiritual beings, and this always will resonate with me. And this is talking about equality in the 1400 years ago, and it is so it's a quote: "A white has no superiority over black, nor a black has a superiority over white, except by piety and good action." And for me, that has to be the ultimate quote for me, because we can't be judging each other for our skin color. We have to really see how we are with each other, and we have to go forward with that. And that was written by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. But another one I do really love is Maya Angelou's. I absolutely love this. If I can find it again. It's just such a gorgeous quote.
Maya Angelou is getting all the love today.
She is gorgeous, though. She's a gorgeous human being.
Thank you.
I know. This is where you're supposed to play some tracks here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, but actually,
fill in the silences.
Yeah, no, but silence is always good.
This is the one. This is one. Sorry, I've got it now. I've got it. You are only free when you realize you belong no place. You belong every place. No place at all. The price is high. The reward is great. We only belong to the one creator for me, and that's it. Thank you, Digits. We only belong to one creator, and we're going to be meeting him again. So for me, that sums it all. So it's such a spiritual piece what she's saying there. It's just so much levels I can't even explain, but it's beautiful.
And I think even if people don't believe in God, there are it's not just about that sense of spirituality. It's about the universal as well, so people can reference whoever their higher being or other.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's been a deep awakening as well within COVID. I mean, COVID has really opened up spirituality for a lot of people and what it means to them. Leah, do you want to add a bit about spirituality? Because I feel like I don't know, you're another spiritual kind of, I don't know, like COVID and spirituality. Just wanted to talk a bit more about that.
Just love yourself.
Love yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have to protect ourselves, and I don't know. I am spiritual, but I think it's just, there's nothing. I don't think there's much. You are just that. You are just that spirit, and that's it.
I think it's also about just being kind to yourself.
Yeah.
As well as others, and I think, that was something that came across during the lockdown on a Thursday when we all went out. But, from that time, we've got this. So, Thank you, Jabida.
I just want to say thank you again to all of our participants. Thank you so much for our Facebook viewers. I think we did get some, I don't know if we've got any questions or anything. I don't think we have. But people did kind of just comment saying, keep bringing BLACKFEST. It gives hope to those who sometimes want to give up hope. Whoop. So that was a really lovely thing to hear on our Facebook. But I'm sure there's more messages. So if you guys want to go see, again, the event will be available on Facebook. So you can have a look at all the comments. Everybody was amazing. Everyone bought it. Thank you so much for trying something new.
Can I thank our audience as well?
Thank you to our audiences. Thank you so much. Go on, Susan.
Just thanks everybody for taking the time out and joining us. Thanks to the participants, and see you again soon.
Thank you. And please keep on following BLACKFEST on our websites, BLACKFEST. So it's www.blackfest.co.uk. You can find us on our socials. Please follow our socials, BLACKFEST Creatives, on Insta and Facebook, and also follow our YouTube channel, SoundCloud. We're going everywhere. just find us.
Listen to our Hear Me Now song.
Listen to our Hear Me Now song. Keep listening to the BLM Soundscape, and yeah, subscribe to Digits over there, and subscribe to our lovely artists who also have their own channels. Everybody's tagged on our socials, all of our artists, so please go find them. Please follow them as well. They're amazing. They've got their own music, poetry. All of them are actors, really, and activists. Amazing human beings. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you.
Okay.